On St. Andrew's Day, we celebrate how Jesus called St. Andrew to be one of his disciples. Jesus looked for faithful followers to help him in his ministry. He looks for faithful followers still today, and St. Andrew's Parish is proud to be a community of his disciples and saints. Jesus calls each and every one of us to follow him, too. A story from the Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. As he went from there, he saw two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, in a boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets, and he called them. Immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him.
We just heard the story of how Andrew was called by Jesus, and there are saints in our own parish who are called to the work of God in the world. And I have with me here Heidi. Heidi, will you tell us a bit about who you are?
Thank you, Mia. My name is Heidi Harper, and I've been a member of St. Andrew's since about 2003 when we moved here. And outreach has been one of the church ministries that has just been so important to me. It really is my opportunity to live my faith. I really, really like outreach.
That's wonderful. Tell me more about how outreach has helped you live out your faith. What does that mean to you?
That Christ's concern for his fellow human beings around him was and still is such an important part of our faith. And I think of all Christ's lessons. I think about the lepers that he healed and how, only one came back to say thank you, but he never condemned the other ones. That Christ's mercy and love was for everybody, and he cared so deeply about everyone and everyone's suffering. And that has always spoken to me. So I feel like going out into the world and caring for each other, doing a random act of kindness each and every day, doing something that brings brightness to other people is really important part of my Christian faith.
Thank you, Heidi. That's a really beautiful answer. I was wondering if you could give us some examples of some of the work that's been meaningful to you, perhaps what's behind you right now.
Let's see if I can. So right there, you can see every week we have been collecting food for, since the pandemic, for St. Andrews, for St. Stephen's in Boston. There are so many people that are being marginalized due to this pandemic, and we need to reach out to these people. And it's not just 1 week of collecting food. This has been an ongoing, dedicated group of St. Andrew's parishioners who have really realized that there are so many of our neighbors that are one paycheck away from not having enough money for rent. And whatever we can do to help alleviate that and help them through this difficult time, we are commissioned by Christ to do.
Thank you. I'm wondering, how can children be a part of serving God in the world and serving others? How can children be involved in what you do?
Every day. I think sometimes people get overwhelmed. They're like, oh, the world's problems are so great. What am I going to do? The reality is God is not asking you to solve the world's problems, but take a moment every day. And even the littlest child can take a moment and think about somebody else first. To take a moment and say, what would it be like to be that person? Or how could I make my friend across the street feel a little bit better? And that's living out Christ's message. It doesn't have to be monumental, and that is living out Christ's message, just even little things.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you so much for sharing with us about the service you do. Thank you for doing the work you do and inspiring us to be saints as well.
do a random act of kindness every day.